is your opinion of the flare footage that came out in '93 in the Senate and now in Waco Rules of Engagement, which was up for an Academy Award, that shows the Fed's own flare footage as they machine gun men, women, and children?
I've not seen the flare footage, and I would be pleased to take a look at it and respond after seeing it.
What would you do if you saw the footage and saw that? Would you call for more investigations?
Well, I want to see what it is before making any decision on it.
We need somebody to come hold this flag while we shred it.
All right, let's all hold it.
Hold it. We say to tyranny in the United Nations.
Get it, Alex.
Death to the New World Order. Death the idea of losing our sovereignty. We don't like this flag, and we're sick and tired of it. We stand for this country, and we will defend it. The United Nations is a tyrannical, authoritarian propaganda arm and military arm of international control. And to it, we refuse to submit. That's all that's going to be left of the UN if they keep pushing their lies. The loss of U.S. sovereignty has gone too far.
I had to call you and tell you that I've read the Constitution. I know what's going on in the country. I know about Rex 84. I know about FEMA. I've been around in the national parks. I've seen the executive orders. I know what's going on in this country. From Oklahoma City, the World Trade Center bombing, the October 29th, New York Times 28th even admits it, got a copy of it in my car, that the BATF and the FBI helped the terrorists cook the bombs. Andre Strassmeyer, the Air and Republican Army, Carol Howe warned the FBI and the BATF. And it doesn't matter. Y'all stir up these hornets' nests to have media events to scare the sheep. And frankly, it's sick and it's sad. And it is the nature of power. That's all you are, is a Roman centurion and all the rest of your type. And I know there's a lot of good people that have left your agencies and have left all the apparatus of control. I want to know why you haven't seen Waco Rules of Engagement and why you won't comment. And you said you were 1,100 yards away from the back of the building where all the automatic weapons fire was coming from. You saw it. Sir, there's footage of it. There's tape of it. You want me to give you one of the tapes?
Yeah, I have to.
Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps you're not a criminal.
Alex, let him
Perhaps you're just
answer.
power hungry.
No.
Let him respond.
I have to say there was no automatic weapon fire coming from the back of the building. I'd like to see the tapes. I hadn't seen those.
Well, they got them at the video store. Or why don't you call C-SPAN and get a copy from them?
Okay, I'll do it.
They aired it on TV, and that's how controlled our press is.
Okay.
You scare me. Seeing our local police training with you guys with black ski masks, and we've gone up from 390,000 police officers to 490,000 police officers, and they're building helicopter bases here in Travis County. Damn it! We've been sucked off for so long. We pay 62% in some form of tax. We just wallow around and beg like a bunch of little feet, and it isn't good enough because you're insecure, and deep down inside you can make the rationales all day. We're self-righteous. We're doing what's right. I'm nonviolent to the end, defending my country from what's coming. And we see it building up. We see it preparing while President Clinton wallows over in China. So to you, you have no soul if you do not come to grips with what really happened in Waco, because you obviously won't even comment on all the missing evidence and on everything else that is happening. The front door to the flare footage, and then to Oklahoma City with the seismographs and General Parton. It's so much. There's so much going on. So much evil, so much tyranny, so much barbarism. What do you think when you walk into your office and there's all these little fleets of minions? It's sad to me. They need to go work for the mob or something. At least there, they can sleep with themselves at night. They're not acting like they're not criminals.
I told it to the grand jury. I was in the back of the building, and the 3 helicopters came in shooting. And what they were doing was peppering David's room. In fact, when Jack Zimmerman got up in the trial, he said he had been in there, and it was like Swiss cheese. Now they tried, before the shooting started, there was no shooting going on. The first thing I heard was the sound of the helicopters like they were on top of me. And then I went to the window, I saw the shooting, I heard the shooting. I finally, 3 months later, realized that they came in trying to kill David, because his room extended out on the south, from the south of the building, and that's where they were hitting. with all their rounds. I was the only one apparently that saw that. And they were on the northeast side of the building. They turned to go to the northwest. I dropped to the floor because I could see that the helicopters were between the second and third floor. And I began to question what I had seen. It was such a shock to me, I couldn't believe it. I've seen plenty of war movies. I came through the Second World War. But I never saw it, in fact, in reality. And when they did turn, everything was very dead quiet. And then after they had turned, and you understand, I didn't see anybody in the helicopters. They asked me that. I said no, I was looking at them face forward. But there was a girl up in the third floor. She was a person that had a 50 to 80% of her body affected by the fire. She's over in England now. But she gave her story, and when she did, I heard it. And when I heard what she said, she looked out her window, which was where the helicopters were turning to go to the front of the building. She saw the men in the helicopters that were had guns, that were doing the shooting. And she confirmed what I had seen. And so I know who shot the first shots. And I told them who shot the first shots. Now, by the time they get to the front of the building, see, I saw the two trailers come in. I was on the bottom floor, and I took the newspapers up to my room, threw them on the bed. I was going to lay down and read them. That's when I heard the helicopters. By the time they turned around to the front of the building and then turned to continue firing, then all hell broke loose there. When I went out into the corridor to leave, I left the 2nd of March with the tape that David made the 1st of March in the evening. When I walked out, there wasn't a window that had any glass in it. All the Venetian blinds were hanging on one side. Now I know there was nobody at those windows because all the women lived in those rooms and they were on the floor over the children to protect them. And they said they didn't shoot until they saw somebody in a window. All I have heard from you and from all the things that has been said by our wonderful government is lies.
After years of denial, the FBI has finally admitted it used flammable devices that final day.
What was the reason for the fire?
When they saw we weren't going to give in, they had to get rid of us. They had to get rid of us. They had to cover up everything that had happened.
There's always new federal lies that we are forced to counter here.
Texas talk radio personality Alex Jones has been crying murder and cover-up from day one of the Waco horror.
These are thugs who wanted to engage in terrorism against the American people. And I say their terrorism has failed, and this horrendous lie is starting to unravel.
Come on into the sanctuary itself. There are essentially just pews on both sides of the center aisle.
While another investigation is underway into what really happened near Waco, a group of Austinites is organizing a new future for the Branch Davidian land. They want to build a church and memorial for those who died in the fire.
It's going to be basically right in exactly the same spot where one or more of the buildings burned down.
It's the same group of Austinites who helped build a house for a World War II veteran. Joe Campagna's home was about to be bulldozed by the city when volunteers stepped in.
After experiencing the Joe Campagna story and the media and others helping and the community coming together, I realized, hey, we can rebuild this for the people that died there, for the children that died there.
All right, Alex Jones says he received clearance now to build on the property from surviving Branch Davidian Clive Doyle. He says they need volunteers and materials and hope to start building sometime this week.